Thank you, friends, for joining us today for this webinar. I'm sure all of you are looking at, would like to know how you can move to Canada and you can set up your own business over there and a source of income. And in today's webinar, we are going to discuss exactly the same. So let's understand the Canada, before we dive into the program, let's understand the Canada Business Immigration and let us understand what is they're planning for the next few years. So you can see, friends, Canada has drawn up a very ambitious plan to invite immigrants over the next 3 years. So this is a plan which they've come up with just about 2 months back. So in the next 3 years, they are going to take about 1.5 million, which is 15 lakh immigrants into Canada. And you can see each year they are targeting first in 23, they are 465,000, 24, 485,000, and 25, 500. So nearly 15 lakhs people is what they plan to invite to Canada and give them permanent residency. And this of course includes a large portion out of this is, going to be people like who are going there, like people from Ukraine who are going as refugees, or people from Middle East who are going there, from the sub-countries like Syria, etc., who are going there to seek asylum. So almost 40% of the people will fall into that category. The balance 60% will be an open category. Out of that 60%, also a large portion of the visas are going to be reserved mostly for young people, under the Acquest Entry program. So we'll talk about this program later. Not only are they going to take more immigrants in the next 3 years, they're also going to spend about $2.1 billion over the next 5 years to make it easy and convenient for the immigrants to come and settle in Canada and improve the processing time. Right now, of course, after the COVID, during the COVID 2 years back, it used to take us, about even for visitors visa, it was not possible. They were not issuing visitors visa, and work permit also, it was taking about 48 weeks from India. But now with the systems and processes have improved, we have seen now that visitors visa are available in just about 1 or 2 months, and work permits are also coming in just about 3 months. So they have hired new people, they have trained new staff, they have invested more in technology, systems, processes, because of which they have been able to clear the backlogs, and the processing times have now improved considerably. Why? Why is it that Canada is inviting so many immigrants? We can see on the other hand, that's neighboring US. US is making more and more difficult for the immigrants to come in, whereas Canada is making it easier, that they want more people. That is because Canada is a very large country. It's a huge country with a lot of natural resources. Can anybody tell me what is the size of Canada? What is the size of Canada compared to India? How big is Canada compared to India? Is it 1.5 times bigger? Is it 2 times bigger? How many times bigger is it than Canada, India? Can you please go into the chat and let us know? Yeah, I'm sure most of you know it is bigger than India, but how many times more bigger than India? Yes, I can see that. 4 times, 3 times. Yes, you are right. You are absolutely right. Canada is 3 times the size of India. It's a huge country, 3 times the size of India. And its population, it has very low population. Can anybody guess what will be the population of Canada? Can you type into the chat box? What is the population of Canada? Yeah, can we see any guess what is the size of population of Canada? $100 million. Yes. Yeah. So you'll be surprised to know that the size 40 million, 2 crores. Yes, we are getting answers over here. Right. So it's near about that, it's in between. It's in between over there. Canada's population is about 4 crores, just about 4 crores, which is less than a population of Delhi and Mumbai put together. Right. So you have a large country, 3 times the size of India, a lot of natural resources, but population of only 4 crores. So that's why it needs more and more people who can move there, who can work there, who can exploit the resources and contribute to the economy. And for this purpose, Canada has devised a number of immigration programs. There are different types of programs. You have federal programs, which are designed by the federal government, which is the central government over there. And you have different provinces in Canada. Just like we have different states in India, they have different provinces. So each province also has its own immigration programs to meet their requirement. And some of the popular immigration programs over there are, I'm sure many of you would have heard about this. The Express Entry program, Business Immigration program, and then you have the PNP programs, which are, like I said, designed by each province to meet its labor and business requirement. Okay. So most of the programs in the Canada, which we are talking about, are point-based, so they have a point-based system, whether it is for, the Express Entry, whether it is for PNP programs, whether it is entrepreneur programs, all of them have their own different kind of a point system. And they are, I will explain to you more in detail in the next slide how the system works. So it is a point-based system. You have to apply over there. And after you have applied, the government will, you can see this over here. First, you have to determine your eligibility criteria. So each of the program will have certain eligibility criteria in terms of education, English language, your work experience, your net worth, etc. Based on this eligibility criteria, we have to decide whether you qualify for this program. Now, after you have qualified for the program, I'm sure there will be thousands of people who will be qualifying under the program. But then they cannot take everybody. So they have to determine whom to take based on the point system. And the points are assigned based on what that particular country or that province within that Canada needs. So there are points assigned based on all these factors. And then they have a cutoff criteria for the points. It's like, when your children are applying in the university or colleges for admission, each college has its own cutoff criteria. Similarly, each province has its own cutoff criteria, and you have to meet that criteria. Once you meet that criteria, you know that you are going to meet, likely to, based on the past results, you are likely to meet that criteria, you put in your application. It's an online application which is updated and put it on the profile, which is called a pool. So you are within a pool of applicants which is put together. And they will review all those applications based on what kind of people they need at that point of time. They will come up with the draws. And if you are selected in the draw, then they will give you, depending upon the program, if it is a federal, it's Express Entry program, then you'll directly get a PR. Otherwise, in most other cases, they will give you a temporary residency visa. Once you get a temporary residency visa, you can move to Canada. After moving to Canada, you need to meet certain conditions which are associated with that program. And only after you meet those conditions, you will get a nomination for PR. Once you get a nomination for PR, you can put in your application for the PR. And thereafter, depending upon the kind of program you are participating in it could take you anywhere between 1 year to 3 years or even more to get PR. So this is, in short, how the immigration system in Canada works. So there are a lot of technical things over here you need to keep in mind. There are draws, there are points, eligibility, then nomination, etc. So most of the programs follow the system. Now let us look at why one wants to move to Canada and get permanent residency. What are the benefits of permanent residence in Canada? I'm sure most of you have gone through this, so I will not spend too much time over here. So let's quickly look at it. The first benefit is, of course, with the permanent residency, you can move to Canada, you can live there permanently, you can with your family, your children can get free education. This is one of the major factors which is driving people, especially people who are in their 40s and 50s. They want to move to Canada to provide better education for their children. And once they move to Canada on work permit or on permanent residency, they can get free or subsidized education for their children over there. You also get free healthcare facility for the whole family. If you have young children, you get childcare benefit. And after the age of 65, you also get retirement benefits. This is, of course, subject to certain conditions. And the good thing about permanent residency in Canada is that you can apply for citizenship in just 3 years. Once you have lived in Canada for 1,095 days in total during any period. So once you complete this mandatory requirement of stay in Canada for 1,095 days, you become eligible to apply for citizenship immediately. It means that If you stay in Canada continuously for 3 years without moving out, then after 3 years itself, you can apply for citizenship, which is not the case, with other countries. In most of the other countries, you have to stay there for at least 5 years. And only after 5 years, you can apply. So through Canada, if you want a citizenship of a foreign country, that's the fastest way. Now let us look at why one should consider business immigration, right? We saw in the earlier slides, friends, that there are more than 70 different ways of migrating to Canada, and most of them are point-based and highly competitive. And once you are over 40 years of age, it is not possible for you to qualify in the popular Express Entry program. Therefore, you will have to look at other programs. And among the other programs, so people, like you, if you have enough money and you have a business or management experience, then the entrepreneur-based, the business-based immigration programs are the best options for you. You can not only invest in your own business over there and get PR, but also have a source of income through your business. So that is why the entrepreneur-based programs are very popular, especially among people, who are over 40 years of age and who are running their own business in India or have senior management level experience in the corporate world. Also, another factor is that we have noticed that most of the Indians like to settle in the state of Ontario, preferably in Toronto or its neighboring areas, right? So now we have understood the immigration system. We have understood why business immigration, for whom it is suitable. Let us look at what is the new business immigration program. So like we said, each province has its own program. And today we are going to talk about a special program by Government of Ontario in Canada. Ontario is a state where, most populous state. That is where Toronto is situated. And also the capital of Canada, Ottawa, is situated over here. This state borders with the US and there's easy access to the US. And we have seen most of the Indians prefer to settle in and around Toronto or closer to the US border near the Niagara. So there is already an existing program which was there, the Canada Entrepreneur Program. And this program has been there for the last few years. However, recently, just about 2 months back, the Canadian government has brought into effect. This program was announced quite some time back, but it became effective just about 2-3 months. There is a pilot program which is being run by the Ontario government. And this is for setting up of business outside Greater Toronto area. We'll talk about GTA more in the next slide. So if you want, to move to Canada, you can set up your business in Ontario outside the GTA area and by investing just 1.2 crores. So this is one of the biggest attraction. Invest 1.2 crores in your own business outside GTA, and you can move there with your family. Once you move over there, you set up your business in Canada, you run it for 20 months. After 20 months, they will see that whether you have genuinely run business over there. Right? So once they see that, yes, you have genuinely invested in the business, you are running the business over there, they will nominate you for the PR. And once you get the nomination from the Ontario government, your PR is guaranteed. So that is in short about the program. You need to invest 1.2 crores in a business. It's going to be existing business or new business outside Greater Toronto area. You can get moved to Canada and run a business and get PR. Now let us understand what is GTA. You can see the map. I'm taking the snapshot from the Google Maps. This area over here, this area which is marked in center, this is GTA. I'm sure many of you have heard about this place, GTA, and also familiar with other neighboring, counties over here. So you can see Toronto, you have a suburb, Mississauga, Brampton. Brampton is one place where you find a lot of Indians residing. Mississauga is another place where you have a lot of Indians. This is, of course, downtown Toronto. You have Scarborough over here. And this is the GTA area. Now, outside GTA, anywhere outside the GTA, in the whole of Ontario, if you set up your business, you have to invest just 1.2 crores. If you want to set up business within GTA, then of course you will have to invest 3 times more, which is about 3.6 crores in INR terms and 6 lakh Canadian dollars, right? So with that, you can invest in this area. But if you go outside, the amount comes down, investment amount. Say, for instance, you go to Burlington or Hamilton or further down over here, there is London over here, there is many other cities which are closer to the US. If you invest anywhere over there, it's just 1.2 crores. Sorry. Yeah. So let us look at a place called Hamilton. Now, Hamilton is a city which is on the outside, just outside GTA. You can see from here, it is about 1 hour's distance from downtown Toronto. Hamilton is an industrial town. It has a good, population. There's a population of about 7 lakh, people. And there are a lot of Indians also in Hamilton. And you can invest in a business over here. Also, other thing about Hamilton is that it is close to the US border. Like you can see over here, from Hamilton to US, in just about an hour, you can reach Buffalo in the US, which is in the New York state. And all these places over here, this is Niagara, you can see, and there are a lot of Indians living over here. That is because the cost of living over here is quite low compared to the GTA. In a GTA, a 1-bedroom apartment in GTA will get you will get it for a rent of about $1,800 to $2,000 you have to pay monthly rent. Whereas if you move to Hamilton, the same 1-bedroom apartment over there would be for just about 1,200 Canadian dollars. So it is cheaper to stay over there. It is easy to travel from Hamilton to Canada, to downtown Toronto, as well as to US. Now let us look at what are the eligibility requirements for this program. The eligibility requirements are quite simple. You need to have a minimum net worth of about 4.2 crores if it is outside GTA. Of course, if you are going to set up in GTA, then it will be double. It will be double the amount. It will be about $800,000. But if it is outside GTA, you have to prove that you have a net worth. And this net worth will include all your assets, your property, your money in investments, bank accounts, shares, mutual funds. You have to put together, you and your wife, and you have to show that you have that much net worth. The other thing you have to prove is that you have an experience of 2 years as a business owner or as a senior manager. Right? This also, I'm sure most of you will be able to meet. Then you need a very basic English language day-to-day. In CLB terms, it is CLB 4, which anybody with basic knowledge of English can qualify and get the score. And you need to have a high school education, which is in Indian terms, it is 12th standard and above. So this is typically the eligibility requirement for this particular program. Now, let us look at why this program is... Yeah, sorry, it's 2.4 crores. Yeah, so let us now look at why this program is so attractive. So like I said, the government has announced a subset of this program, which is called the Entrepreneur Success Initiative. And under this, they're encouraging people to come to Ontario and set up business outside GTA. And, they are not requiring, there is no point requirements over here. So you just have to invest about 1.2 crores outside GTA. And the best thing is you don't have to invest the money right now. You first have to get an approval. So I will explain to you later in the part of the presentation how it works. You get an approval, and this approval is now, we will take up the questions later about the age limit. I will talk about that. So first, you need to get the approval to move to Canada. Once it is approved, you move to Canada, and only after that, you have to invest in business. So this is most of the other investment-based program. We have seen that first you invest, then you apply. Here, you get approved first, and only after that, you have to invest. And nowadays, the approvals for visas, whether it is visit visa. If you would like to go there and visit and check out the business, then you're getting visitors visa in about 1 or 2 months. If you don't want to visit over there, if you have people already in Canada, they can go and check out the business for you, and you can directly apply for work permit and move to Canada in about 3 months. Or you can also go there on a visitor's visa, finalize the business, stay in Canada, and from there apply for work permit and continue to stay there. So it has become very quick and easy for you to move to Canada nowadays with the improved processing time. And we can also provide you business. We have certain businesses. I will talk more about that in later. So let us see what kind of businesses we can provide. Right. So these are some of the business opportunities outside GTA. You can see that Hamilton, we spoke about Hamilton. In Hamilton, you have this Papa John's franchisee. This is a pizza franchisee business, very popular in Canada for just about 279,000 Canadian dollars. This is an existing running business. You can buy it, invest in it. Next, we have a store. This is a store over here. It's a grocery store. You can see that general purpose store. And this is also available for about 250,000 Canadian dollars. We also have another franchisee. This is a franchisee restaurant for about $300,000. You can see that it's beautifully done up in the main location in Burlington, which is even for more closer to GTA. So apart from this, there are various other business opportunities you can indulge in. What kind of business, are you looking at? If I would like to ask you, if you could just type in the chat box and let us know what is your preference, whether you're looking at a restaurant, a pizza store, convenience store, or, property management, auto business, logistics. Okay, you have coaching classes, you have tutoring, you have private schools, you also have office supplies, stationery, logistics business. Most of the business we can qualify. Now, let us come to us about our company, how we can help you with the process. Like you saw in the introduction, we are basically firms specializing in business and investment-based immigration. And given my background as a chartered accountant and as a banker, I have expertise in this area, in the areas of analyzing the business, analyzing the investment. So that's why we have, consciously chosen to extend our expertise in this area, in the area of investment-based and business-based immigration. And when it comes to the Canada business immigration, we will handhold you throughout the process in India as well as in Canada. So we start the process. First, what we do is we do a feasibility study. We look at your background, we look at your profile, we look at your work experience, etc., and see whether you meet the eligibility criteria. After that, we try to identify the businesses, what kind of businesses would be suitable, ideal for you. There will be a discussion. We talk mutually and we decide what are the businesses available, what could suit your requirement, and accordingly try to match your profile with the business. After we have matched your profile with the business, we go to the government agency, we discuss your profile and the business plan with them, and we get a pre-approval. So after that, we get a pre-approval saying that, yes, this kind of business person and this kind of a business plan we'll be able to nominate. So thereafter, once we have got a pre-approval, we will fill in the expression of interest. The expression of interest is a detailed form where you have to tell the government that you are interested in setting up so-and-so business in Canada, and these are the details. Once you submit your expression of interest, you will get an invitation. And we can fast track this process. Usually this acceptance of an expression of interest could take very long time, but because this is a special program by the government and government is working closely with some of the agencies in promoting this, so we can get you the expression of selection from expression of interest and your approval very quickly. Once you are selected, we'll have to enter into a performance agreement, which means that we'll sign an agreement with the Canadian government, signing what is there in our business plan, how much money we need to invest, how many jobs we'll be creating, what will be the revenue, turnover, etc. And we need to put it into an agreement and sign it with the government authority. Once we do that, we'll get a work permit. Once you have the work permit, you can send the money outside India, this has to be done, of course, in a compliance with the RBI guidelines under the LRS scheme. And that is where, again, we come and we can help you with that. Once you send the money, you can purchase the business. So this is where we'll help you in completing. We have already identified and blocked the business. Now we go to Canada and we complete the purchase transaction. We look at the agreements, etc., and close the deal. After that, you move to Canada and start working on your business. Once you have moved to Canada, you have worked on the business for 20 months. After 20 months, we need to submit a report to the government that this is how we have progressed. If they see that we have been working as per the business plan, then they will nominate us for the PR. So this is in short. This is in short what is the process for business immigration and how we will help you with that. We'll be involved in each and every stage and guide you through the entire process. Once you reach Canada, again, we will help you over there. We'll help you in finding an accommodation in terms of office space or business you will already have. We'll guide you on your children's education and college, etc. We'll help you in getting the social insurance number as well as the health insurance, driver's license, opening of the bank accounts, so on and so forth. So entire lending services will be provided to you by our team. Why us now? Why people come to us for this? Because we can provide one-stop solution for business immigration to Canada. Like we mentioned earlier, we are a team of professionals with experience in the area of immigration, investment, banking, finance, taxation. So we can take care of all your requirements as explained in the earlier slide. We also have hands-on experience on handling business and immigration. I myself have set up a fintech company in Canada and have been through the process. We have very good relationships with business incubation as well as government nominating agencies in Canada. We can source business through government approved agencies. We can get your nomination on a fast track. We can help you in sourcing businesses from various business brokers. Whatever documentation, certification to be done, we can help you in doing that. And we can also, if there is any special requirement, we can let you in touch with some of the best lawyers in Canada to resolve that. Right. So here is a special offer from us. We are in this for all the people who are participating in the webinar and otherwise during the next 2 months, we are giving you a special offer where we will be able to showcase you business. We have been getting a lot of people have been coming to us that help us with the business in Canada. So this is where we will be able to help you with the business. We'll source the business from government approved agencies. And we know that this is a business which is already going to be approved. It will qualify under the Ontario Success Initiative Program, and it is already pre-approved. We'll do your feasibility study. We'll match the profile with the business and get nomination pre-approval from the agency. Only after the pre-approval is done, you need to put in your documentation. Once the documentation is done and you are selected, we'll get the documentation done, we'll get a pre-approval, and then we will file for your application. After filing the application, we will get your nomination for the temporary visa. Once you get a temporary visa, you move to Canada and start working on your business. And this is a special offer which we are giving, that if we are not able to get you the work permit after all this process, we will be returning a substantial part, a large part of the fees will be returned back to you. So you don't have to worry. Your downside is very limited. You sign up with a feasibility study, you pay us a minimum amount to start a feasibility study, you go through the process, you pay the fees. Only after you get your visa, you move to Canada and make your investment. If you don't get to move to visa, you have not invested any money in the business, and you will also get more than you will get 80% of your fees back. Right? Does that sound exciting? Thank you. So now, why now? Why you should get enrolled in this program now? Friends, we have seen that, many of our clients whom we have been in touch with have been looking for various immigration programs for quite some time. Some of them have been looking for a year, 2 years, even 4 years, and they've still not decided. They're not able to take the first step. So what happens is, if you take too long, day by day, we are seeing that the terms and conditions are changing. More and more people are joining the queue for the immigration. The processing times are increasing, and many times you'll miss the bus. We have seen clients, just recently I was talking to a client just 2 days back. He was looking at the US EB5 visa, and he was looking at it for the last 4 years. So 4 years back, his son was about 19 years old, and EB5 visa was available for just $5 lakh. He did not do it at that point of time. Now he came back to us 2 days back saying that he wants to do it. But unfortunately, now the investment amount has moved from $5 lakh to $8 lakh. Not only that, his son is now about 23 years old. So his son will not qualify. He will be paying almost double the amount, and he will, his son will still not get visa. Only his younger daughter and the 2 family members will be able to qualify. So it is important, if you have decided to move, you need to act fast, because the rules keep on changing. In case of this particular program, right now under the pilot program, they are going to take only 100 applications, and that also from all over the world. Please note that people from all over the world, Vietnam, China, Iran, Ukraine, from all over the world, people are looking at immigration options, and they will all be competing with you. Also, like we discussed earlier, that visa processing has become much faster now. During COVID, there was a slowdown, and it was not possible to get visitors visa for Canada. Right now it is open. You can get visitors visa in just about 1 to 2 months. You can get a work permit in 3 months. So this is a time when the window is open. We don't know what will happen in future. We all know that how difficult it is to get your visas for visiting USA right now for Indians. So right now, for Canada, the window is open. You can visit over there. You can go on a work permit over there, and take the benefit of this. Also, there are lots of businesses available. Lots of businesses are available. We saw earlier in a part of our presentation that Canada is a large country. It has aging population. So there are a lot of people who are owning businesses over there. They're aging. Their second generation doesn't want to continue with the business. So they're looking at retiring and exiting out of the business. So there are a lot of business opportunities available. Also, post-COVID, many people had shut down the business and they don't want to start it. They are looking at selling their businesses as well. So there is a lot of options available at a very attractive rate. And for the children, many of you will be looking at this option primarily for your children's education. So in Canada, the academic year starts from August, September. And if you start planning now and you move there before August, September, your children can start their academic year at a school or a college in Canada. And not only that, if they go to a local school, their fees will be completely exempt. And also, if they move to universities for higher education, then some of the universities will get to pay 1/5 or 1/4 of the fees which an international student would have to pay. So you will be saving a substantial amount by way of your children's fees by moving to Canada and the beginning of the academic year. So friends, these are some of the benefits of why you need to act now.